Mr. Parker, how are you?
Okay, so we here this morning, like we said, the program features issues making news in the printing media. So on this Wednesday's presentation, we have five local data. In my left hand, we have the front page Africa newspaper,
We have the Analyst newspaper,
the Daily Observer newspaper,
the Independent newspaper.
and of course, we have the news, the nation's news since 1989. That's a newspaper right here on this Wednesday's edition of the show. Too many interesting developments on the various local data we featuring this morning, like you listen to. And we have the front page Africa newspaper with volume 17, number 68, Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. This is the edition, of course, and this paper is sold for 40 Liberian dollars. And the Ballon Helen printed in red says 2023 budget becomes law, President. We have finally signed the 2023 fiscal budget into law at the US 782.9 million. Of course, you see the photo of the Liberian president signing this particular budget. That's the budget as it was being discussed, being passed, but the legislature forwarded to the Liberian president for signing. Indeed, the president has signed the wonderful budget. The next stop right here says high hunger rate. Liberia ranks 13. That's 113 out of 121 countries in global hunger index. Latest report shows high hunger rate in Liberia. On the back page, on the front page, Africa newspaper. Well, no interesting development. Let's take this development right here from within that has to do with the high hunger rate in Liberia. And I'm told there is a conference ongoing right now in Liberia as it relates to addressing this particular issue that has to do with hunger rate in Liberia. But let's go to this development right now. It says Liberia ranks 113 out of 121 countries on global hunger index. Latest report shows high hunger rate. They say the report puts Liberia in a level of hunger that is serious with the rank of 113 out of the 121 countries that were assessed in 2022. Liberia has a score of 32.4 out of 100 points. According to the ranking metrics, the hunger level in Liberia is still high, even though progress has been made in some areas. They said the latest global hunger index report has ranked Liberia 13, that's 113 out of 121 countries assessed in 2022 report. The GHI is a pre-reviewed annual report jointly published by the Alliance 2015 partners concerned worldwide and with hungered life every year. They say the report comprehensively measures and tracks hunger at global and regional levels, comparing the level of hunger between countries, areas of the world where hunger levels are highest and where the need for additional efforts to eradicate hunger is greatest. They say the report puts Liberia in a level of hunger that is serious with the rank of 113 out of 121 countries that were assessed in 2022. Liberia has a score of 32.4 out of 100 points. According to the ranking metrics, the hunger level in Liberia is still high, even though progress has been made in some areas. With hunger, life, and concern worldwide will launch. Indeed, the 2022 Global Hunger Index report this Wednesday, April 12th, at the Boulevard Palace in Monrovia. Monrovia under the theme Food Systems Transformation and Governance for a food and nutrition secure to Liberia, according to a joint press release. The topic of the report shows how important it is to make food systems life sustainable and resilient in Liberia. The release added, saying this year's launch marks the third in a series of launches held in Liberia by the Alliance 2015 partners. They're doing the launch with Hunger Live and Concern Worldwide will moderate a full system pioneer discussion as a way of reflecting on key aspects of food and nutrition security that can mitigate hunger in Liberia. The pioneer discussion indeed finally will improve or involve four civil society actors that are working in the areas of food systems transformation, governance in Liberia, with Hunger Life and Concern Worldwide emphasize that the right to food must play a key role in the transformation of food systems, with Liberia being of no exception. So indeed, we will cross over to my colleague for stories making news in the next stop of the featured local daily on this edition of today's papers.
And good morning, Liberia. Next on our desk, we have the Analyst newspaper. It's volume 24, number 147 of today's April 12, 2023 edition. And this paper is sold for 40 Liberian dollars. The first headline on the Analyst newspaper front page says, Minister Sonny leaves MOE in chaos as he jets out of India with family friends. And coming down, we have McGill, the way forward for Magibi. And the last headline here on the front page of the Analyst newspaper says, American NGO seeks President Weah's intervention to recover its properties. And that does it for the front page of the Analyst newspaper. Let's turn over to the back and see what it has for us. Students applaud Alex Cummings for his exceptional vision towards vibrant future. And that's the Let Academy Model School in Masha. The next headline here says PUL leadership kiss. And of course, this has to do with the media. And here we have the photo of Mr. Charles B. Kofer Jr. and the photo of Mr. Julius K. Kanuba. So let's take a look at the paper for our online viewers. Now let's look at the latest developments here, which says Minister Sonny leaves MOE in chaos as he jets out of India or to India for family friends. And it says the rumor of brewing crisis at the Ministry of Education has reached an alarming proportion over the weekend when the Minister D. Ansu Sonny came into open confrontation with two of his principal deputy ministers, plunking the entire ministry into chaos, and instead of facing the problem, jetted out of the country with his family and some friends to India, contrary to the information that he left the country for the United States of America to meeting of some development partners. Implicable sources at the Ministry of Education confided into the analyst that for a long time now, the issue of mistrust has existed between the minister and some of his deputies, and other senior staff which bordered on administrative operation, which he was accused of granting absolute power to himself and some of his inner circle, and in the process removing the statutory functions and duties of his deputies and other principal officers, assigning the function to himself and his close aides, no matter the position. That was it for the analyst newspaper. We now turn over to Ibrahim Parker for the Daily Observer newspaper.
Indeed, has been beautifully said. Our next stop is the Daily Observer newspaper. Volume 23, number 65, Wednesday, April 12, 2023. This paper is sold for 40 Liberian dollars. The Daily Observer newspaper. The first headline says, in Grand Cat Mount, elephants destroyed homes in search for food. Elephants destroy homes in search of food. Wow. Liberia eyes a sea cucumber fisheries. It targets the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority. NAFA has a bigger responsibility in this particular development. New report shines spotlight US 3.65 billion motorcycle market in sub-Saharan Africa. To get a glance of this paper, the Daily Observer newspaper, see picture of exactly what we're talking about this morning. Just get a glance of it this morning. Most especially for those of you viewing, you see the photo of the big elephant moving in towns in that's Grand Kitman County. This is today's paper right here on Voice of Liberia. Turning over to the back page of the Daily Observer newspaper. UNDP sponsors climate change mitigation in Liberia, gives US 115,000 grant to 4 local NGOs for project implementation. What a good way to start the issue of climate change, mitigating climate change in Liberia. And going down to the Daily Observer, it says UN top diplomat urges Liberians to uphold civic duty. Okay, so let's get to this development right here from the back page of the Daily Observer newspaper right here this morning. You see, the Deputy Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in South Sudan, Madam Sarah Beslow Yanti, has launched a passionate plea to Liberians to use their vote as a fulfillment of their civic duty and responsibility in electing the government that seeks the welfare of the people. The UN diplomat traveled from South Sudan to Liberia to observe civil obligation as Liberia do her biometric voter registration exercise in Yano Town, a village deep into Lake Township in rural Magibi's 4th electoral district, approximately 70 kilometers north of the capital, Monrovia. Yanta said the power of the people's vote is to gear towards seeking a domestic Liberia, that's a democratic Liberia, sorry, as each and every Liberian vote is meant to strengthen democracy regardless of their social, political, economic status in society. She says, this card represents my patriotism, my commitment to civic duty to vote as a citizen of Liberia, to use my vote to seek a democratic Liberia, she noted. She revealed that the 2022 election is an opportunity for Liberians to demonstrate their commitment to peace as they have always done since the inception of the 14 years of the Civil War that ended in 2003. She said, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who governed for 12 years and peacefully transitioned in 2017 to a peaceful election in 2023, will further demonstrate Liberia's maturity as the oldest nation on the continent of Africa, further urging all political actors to respect the account of the polls. The smooth transition or transitioning of power of a new administration after 12 years demonstrated that we Liberians are serious about democracy, and it is the opportunity for us to continue to demonstrate that we must respect the election results. She cautioned. The UN envoy also launched a passionate plea to sustain and create a safe space for women's participation in politics across Africa and Liberia, especially in ensuring women get the need